We are hopeful that the court will see what we see, that he is a walking demonstration of a positive and contributing member of society.
Adnan Syed's future hangs in the balance as he waits for a ruling in his request to reduce his prison sentence. Today, during a high-stakes hearing, a Baltimore judge heard emotional testimony from both sides, but didn't make a decision. Instead, she said she'd either issue a written opinion or schedule another hearing if necessary.
This all comes on the heels of an 11th-hour decision from the state's attorney, Ivan Bates, to drop the motion to vacate Syed's conviction in the death of Haymon Lee.
Bates says that he didn't make that decision lightly.
I try to be as respectful and sympathetic as possible, especially because Mr. Lee has not been treated very fairly at all by this office or this system.
And we have team coverage tonight following these developments, starting with Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor. She was in the courtroom all afternoon and has the very latest for us. Rebecca.
Well, after first being thrust into the spotlight more than a decade ago in the viral Serial podcast, today this long legal saga took another twist with Syed's freedom once again on the line. Tonight, a circuit court judge still considering his request for a sentence reduction through the Juvenile Restoration Act. That law provides a pathway to early release for people who were convicted of crimes as minors and have served at least 20 years. For background, Syed was 17 when his ex-girlfriend Haymon Lee was murdered. Now 43, he has always maintained his innocence. During today's hours-long hearing, half a dozen character witnesses spoke on his behalf. The first, a forensic psychologist who conducted a risk assessment, finding Syed well-adjusted and unlikely to reoffend. Two of Syed's fellow inmates also took the stand, both speaking to his exemplary character behind bars. Since his release, Syed has been working at Georgetown University's Prisons and Justice Initiative. His boss testifying that he's an invaluable member of their team and describing him as kind, thoughtful, and compassionate. Syed's release was, of course, triggered about 2 years ago when former City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby filed a motion to vacate his conviction, citing new evidence, possibly pointing to other suspects. But his conviction was reinstated last year following a procedural challenge from Lee's family. As you mentioned, coming in late last night, State's Attorney Ivan Bates threw out Mosby's motion to vacate, claiming it included false and misleading statements, although Bates does still support Syed's sentence reduction, saying this case is precisely what legislators envisioned when they crafted the Juvenile Restoration Act. Syed's attorney speaking to that stance outside of court.
The state agrees that Adnan is worthy of a sentence reduction. The original sentencing judge agrees that Adnan is worthy of a sentence reduction. And we are hopeful that this court will as well.
On the other side, that stance has been difficult for the Lee family to grasp. During victim impact statements, Lee's brother questioning, "Where's my representation?" Through tears, her mother adding, "This is really America? Is this not supposed to be where justice is alive and criminals are punished for their sins?" The family's private attorney arguing Syed's, quote, lack of remorse and refusal to accept responsibility for the brutal murder, despite the overwhelming evidence of his guilt, leaves him undeserving of leniency. Tonight, Bates saying while his heart goes out to the family, as the state's attorney, he represents all Baltimore City residents. Now, Judge Schiffer's ruling could come down at any moment. In court, she was clear Syed remains a convicted murderer, and he is not the victim in this case, while also acknowledging that he's not the same person he was at 17 years old. Once she reads a final decision, we will keep you updated here at Fox 45. But for now, reporting in Baltimore City, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.